I'd like to share a quick example to illustrate one of the 11 triggers called play. And so let me first give the definition of play. Play is an interactive element that we add where our customers are able to interact with us on the website. And it's a way to indirectly communicate your marketing message. Now, why would someone go through the element of constructing a play element, or why would someone go through the inconvenience of constructing a, designing a play interaction to communicate your marketing message? I'll tell you why. Because we are so inundated with marketing messages, consumers are, that we automatically discount any marketing message that comes our way. And so one way to get the message across to them is actually not communicated as almost like let them discover it themselves. And I think that's the best way of looking at play, is that, or looking at your marketing message, is that if I tell you that I'm amazing at something, there's a very low probability that you will 100% believe it. However, if you kind of do your own investigation on me, unbeknownst to me, identify that I truly am very capable or whatever it is, then that's much, much more impactful, right? So it's the exact same message. It just depends on who's delivering it. And that's what play does. Play kind of switches the table and lets the user discover through an interactive element your marketing message. So the question, of course, is now how do we apply it? So this is an illustrative example. We've just picked up a random website and we're going to be using this play trigger, showing an example to illustrate how the play trigger works. So this is their homepage. As you scroll down on the homepage, you will see that at some location they are showing the clients that they've worked with. And just to manage real estate, they've shown it as a ribbon. So essentially you have to click on the next arrow to see all the clients they've worked with. What stood out to me was this is a pretty impressive list. Procter and Gamble is obviously very recognizable. Ramada is very recognizable. Smithsonian, Red Bull, Westin, Hulu. These are in fact HBO, Blue Moon, Amazon. I mean, these are all like super, super recognizable brands. And so my thought was that if the user who is a potential buyer were to kind of look through this whole list, they will absolutely come away convinced that, Magic Murals is the company that they want to give the project to. But of course, the point is that most people would, first of all, ignore this message and not even notice it. Online shoppers are like beagles on steroids. They notice very little. 83% of what's on a page is actually effectively invisible. So if you want someone to notice something, you have to slow them down, and make them interact with something. So let me show you what we've come up with. So this is a screenshot of the lower half of the page with those icons. There we go. So here's our idea. We are presenting this as a quiz, and we are simply asking, guess how many of these companies we've created murals for. Click each icon. Now this is an interactive thing, so it's a play element. People would want to participate. So let's say you start clicking now, here's the clever part, right? It's what I would call a layup question. It's a pretty straightforward question. There's almost zero chance that someone would not know that all of these have to be the clients, right? They would not have shown it otherwise. So that's the clever part, is that now the user is saying, oh, wait a minute, I bet you've worked with all these clients. But by saying that, they've subliminally communicated to themselves that you have a pretty amazing, body of work. So here's how it's going to work. So there's a little reveal answer button over here. Let's say they select all the options except the last two, okay, which is obviously wrong because they should have selected the last two as well. When they click reveal answer, we say you're close, but there are actually two more companies that we've served. So it says 2 because 2 is dynamic. So if you had selected miss 3, then it would have said 3. Now let's say you make all the selections and then you do reveal answer. Now we're saying, you're exactly right. You are super smart, super intuitive. And then we reveal the message from the CEO. But the point is that now we have actually communicated, we've slowed you down, and we've indirectly, subliminally communicated all the brands that we've worked with, because in order to reveal the answer, you had to click on each of these elements. And that's exactly how play works. So I wanted to just share this example, and hopefully it made sense. If it didn't, please ask me a question. Happy to explain it. And if you are able to figure out a simple way to use this in your website, the idea is yours to use.